Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Oh, please continue to pray for me, and you can pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. Let's sing it a couple more times, so while we wait for others to join. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Please pray as hard as you can. I'm going to change directions today. Today, I want you guys to pray for my continued good health. And the reason for that is that I realized that good health is the genesis of everything else in my life, right? Yesterday, I talked about financial distress. A couple weeks ago, I was talking about heartbreak situations. But you know what? You know what? I was talking to a friend of mine who had recently recovered from chemotherapy, and it dawned on me that while he was doing chemotherapy, he wasn't making any money. In fact, he was spending his money taking care of that, and he certainly wasn't out dating anybody. And so today, I want you guys to pray for good health, and you can pray for that by leaving a dislike on this video. A little bit of background on what's been going on. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, my grandmother passed away. She was 91 years old. And I was kind of upset yesterday because my family obviously wants me to go to her funeral. And when I went to buy the plane ticket, I got a good deal, but it was still $1,600. And I'm struggling financially. Well, I'm not really struggling financially, but I got big financial ambitions, and it was just a annoyance expense, if you will. Uh, so I had planned to have some money for myself just as a treat for Christmas, and it's gone. And but the good news is that I did max out my Roth IRA this year, and I accumulated, let's see, 300 ounces of silver and another ton of bismuth. And what else? Uh, I, I was hoping to have a treat for myself this Christmas, but the money's gone now. That's kind of annoying. All right, please pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. But another thing I want to talk about is the whole situation of my returning to the dating scene. I have a little bit of a conflict there. You see, part of the reason I returned to the dating scene with such a sense of urgency, you got to remember where I was last summer. It was July and it was hot, and I was living in a very small apartment, and I had COVID-19, and it dawned on me that part of the reason I don't live in the best places possible is that I have one income to pay for the place. And then I got my and then I had nobody to take care of me when I got COVID-19. Later on, I got poisoned with the polonium 210 or lead, and I had nobody to take care of me. And that's part of the reason I asked one of my friends at church to set me up on this blind date, and it's gone pretty well so far. And I've learned one thing. I've learned one thing about the dating scene. Um, you never date your way into a good relationship. If it doesn't work on that first date, just quickly move on. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time, right? But this one worked very well. Um, I just I had planned to go on 100 blind dates before choosing one. Here's why: because when I looked up statistics, one out of every 40 dates leads to marriage, and only half of marriages work out, right? And So I thought maybe 40 times 2, right? 80 blind dates, but I wanted to be a little bit on the safe side. So I was thinking 100. But it went so well that I decided to kind of pause my 100 date program as of now. I went on 5 or 6 actually, 6. But I decided to put a pause on that program. But here's the problem. The whole reason for going back to the dating scene was that I couldn't afford my single life. But guess what? It's Christmas Eve, and I'm still paying all my own bills. I'm still taking care of all the domestic responsibilities on my own. I'm still planning for my future all by myself, and now I have all these expenses and commitments related to dating. So it's like, gee, where am I going? I'm going the wrong direction, and it's just really frustrating, right? Like that whole uh, I would have had. I mean, certainly grandmother would still pass away even if I were married, but if we had two incomes to save up for these things, it would be a lot easier to take care of, right? Um, anyways, I really shouldn't be complaining about grandmother so much. Uh, why don't I ask grandmother if she could communicate with some of the dead to help me set up a date with somebody who's living, right? Maybe she's up there with Mary Curry. She could introduce her to me, or who else is up there that she could communicate with? Maybe let's see. Mostly Mary Curry, right? Maybe she could communicate with Mary Curry and help set me up on a date with one of her great great granddaughters here on Earth, right? Okay, and as a reward to grandmother, I will burn. But we have this heaven banknotes that you can burn to give to people who are already deceased, right? I'll burn her a trillion heaven banknotes if she communicates with Mary Curry to get this date going, right? Uh, and I'll make sure to mix in some household dust containing radioactive elements for Mary Curry to burn it up, uh, right? Maybe press the dust into a bunch of banknotes as well, right? All right. So anyway, just a lot of confusion, a lot of confusion and anxiety about this new chapter in my life, because you got to remember why I even went back to dating, right? And it's gone the opposite direction, at least for now, right? It hasn't played out. I'm going to pivot a little bit. Um, I I have 4 tons of bismuth right now, and I have how many ounces of silver? 8,200, I think. For next year, let's dial down the ambitions a little bit, and I'm going to max out my Roth IRA, but I'm not going to accumulate any more bismuth and silver. I'm just going to buy enough to replace what I sell from the art, uh, because I'd like to be investing in connectivity with others. I think it has played out very well. All right, please continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.